So
So speaking of catches, no pun intended, football NFL transition. Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles. You feel me?
yeah,
You see how I put that blend together? I should be a DJ.
yeah,
Yeah,
that topic
there's been
was
a lot of
crazy.
topics about who is the prize in a relationship, and for some reason, women think that they're always the prize in a relationship.
Yeah,
Now, I think I know, like, I kind of get it because women have always been the pursuit,
yeah.
like
Like men
men
do so much
pursue,
grand gestures to get a woman.
and even in the animal kingdom, it's like that.
Yeah,
They gotta like penguins. I think they gotta get like a fire pebble and like
yeah,
bring it to the woman penguin and or like the dancing and displays.
yeah.
So in the animal kingdom, that's definitely a thing.
And I guess the woman give birth, so they see him as like the gatekeeper of life. So it's like you got to win me
Right,
to get a kid out of me.
right. So for me, it's a little bit different because while I still believe that to be the case for humans, one thing that has to be taken into consideration is societal status. So, one thing that doesn't get taken into account for in the animal kingdom is the woman's just looking for, yo, can you bring me a fire pebble? And that's it.
Yeah,
In our communities, it's how attractive do other people find you? What's your status in society?
where do
You
you
know,
work?
where do you work? How
How
much
much you
money
make?
you make? What car you drive? What house can you put me in? It really all comes
Yeah,
down to money, which doesn't exist in the animal kingdom. So there's a lot more factors into what makes somebody desirable, and that comes
enterprise. Yeah,
from the man and the woman. What makes someone more desirable? There's a lot of more characteristics. Now, because of that, the one main characteristic that women care about is money, because I could kind of understand that. That's what a lot of things boil down to, because that's what comes down to what house can you put me in, what car can you put me in, all those different things. I can understand that a little bit. But in my opinion, I think that men tend to be, based on that definition, I think men tend to be more of a prize because they check a lot more of those boxes, right? So if you look at attractiveness, guys can be attractive and women can be attractive.
yeah,
So that can just be equal. A guy can be more attractive than a woman.
yeah,
Men typically have more money than women.
yeah,
Typically, not always.
yeah,
Status, men are typically in higher status, and I'm not trying to do like the men are better than women
yeah.
thing,
But it's
but
just
just
that's the
like
reality.
that's that statistically, or
Yeah,
you just look at society, men typically have higher
and
positions of
stats don't
power.
lie. Like,
You can argue all day about like misogyny and women's suffrage and those type of things.
yeah, that's
Perfectly,
a whole nother
that's a
topic.
whole other
Yeah,
topic. But the way it currently is set up presently, that's the way society works.
yeah,
So because of that, in my opinion, I think men tend to check more of those boxes of societal status and money and pretty much all of the things that women are looking for. Men tend to
yeah,
check those boxes more so than I think women might be able to.
yeah. And men definitely do get a value out of a woman, but like you said, when it comes to like line for line, if you're doing a line for line comparison, there are more benefits that a man receives, right? Because you could say a man receives, okay, the woman might cook and clean, right? But you could hire a maid, you could hire a nanny, you could hire a chef. But woman, you can't hire somebody to give you money.
Right.
Like you can't hire a provider
Right.
of money.
And to add
You
to this,
can't.
because I know there's probably gonna be some people that at this point have already typed in a comment to give some angry comment.
Pick me.
Like, yes, women, a man could never do anything to
Replace.
replace
Yeah.
the value of a woman
Yeah.
or their ability to give birth or be a nurturer. Those things can never, I mean, they can be paid for, but I don't want to get into that, like surrogates and all that kind of stuff. They can be paid for, but yeah, that can never be replaced. But at the same time, what's the point of giving birth to a kid if you can't even afford to take care of
Yeah.
him at the same time? So,
And you
not that I would
rely on that
ever,
man
I would
to
never,
pay.
I would never equate money to life, but unfortunately, that's where we're at. Money is a valuable thing. Like where you grow up, the education you could give a child, all those different things. If you wanted to, you might be able to make the argument, but I'm not going to make that argument. So, to me, there's basically what I'm just trying to get at is that there's a lot of value that comes on both sides.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I don't think that anybody should be considered a prize at all.
Yeah.
Because it's a
It's
joint
a
venture.
benefit. Yeah. It's a
There's a joint
partnership.
benefit. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
partnership. So everybody,
But people don't view relationships as partnerships anymore because people
it's
are just,
transactional.
yeah, they're so transactional, they're so superficial. Like, it's actually kind
From
of sad. People are missing out on real life, like, bonds and partnerships.
Yeah, like it's stupid because it's everybody should be coming into a relationship with whatever it is that they're bringing, and it comes together like a beautiful
Yeah.
puzzle. But people want to look at it as basically this person's like bringing nothing, like I'm bringing the whole puzzle to the table.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really work that way.
And no offense, but like as a woman, a lot of women, their value that they feel like they're bringing into a relationship and why they feel like they're a prize. Some of them, not all.
The body
Yeah, their looks, but looks fade. Like you're not gonna look like this forever. Your
and looks
body might
don't
not
do
look
anything,
like, yeah,
right?
and looks will do anything.
Yo,
Like I could understand the woman that actually feels like, okay, I bring this, I bring that. Like I'm educated, I will cook, I will do this. But women don't even want to cook or clean anymore. They feel like they're like they feel like men should, if my man got money, we should just hire a nanny and a maid. Like they don't even want to do that aspect of like their gender roles that they would like the man has to be the only one that keeps up gender roles in society apparently. So it's like what really makes you the prize, and if you're not even doing the stuff that like women traditionally would do the same way men traditionally do.
and there's
So,
mad people that look good.
yeah. It's
And
like,
there's
okay,
mad
you look
people.
good, and
Not only that, there's mad people that look better than you. Like let's keep it a stack. There's always gonna be somebody that looks better than your partner.
yeah,
So
that's just
looks don't mean nothing,
reality.
right? Like for sure.
Yeah,
Like I don't care what your favorite famous celebrity looks like. There's somebody that looks better than them.
yeah, like
That's a fact.
yeah.
So looks don't mean nothing. So
But yeah, and a lot of women they just feel like that just because I look good, like I'm eye candy, like he's getting a baddie to lay up with. Like they feel like that's the only thing that makes them a prize. But it's like okay, and what? So what's gonna happen in 30 years from now? There's gonna be a younger baddie that he's gonna cheat on you with. Like
right. So by that logic, should he just
so
go
yeah,
get
so
her?
isn't he
Then?
the prize now? Because like he could just get any other woman now because his money allows him to get any woman.
Yes.
Because women are fiending for that. Like women do crazy things to each other, to themselves, like surgeries and all that stuff, to get a man. So who really is the catch? Who really is the prize? If you're literally going under the knife, and they'll say, "I'm doing it for myself." No, you're not. Like at its core, you're doing something for the attraction of other. Like you want a bigger butt because that attracts a mate. You might think it looks good, but why do you think it looks good? Because it attracts a mate.
Right.
Like,
Because if men didn't think it looked good, which at some point in the early 2000s,
yeah,
men didn't
you wouldn't think
it
it
looked
looked
good.
good then.
Then you wouldn't think it looked good.
Like that's just at its core. Like no one ever wants to admit it, but nothing is for yourself. Truly, nothing is.
No.
When you really break it down to its very core.
No, we'll keep it a stack. The reason why I might do, and people, I could almost foresee people like, oh, well, speak for yourself. Nah, it applies
Is
to you
this
too.
true?
The reason why you're doing makeup, the reason why you're doing all these different things is because you're trying to be attractive to the
Yeah.
opposite sex. Like it just is.
Like you're not doing
And
it
that's
for
okay.
yourself. Yeah, and that's okay. Like
And
at
that's
its core, it's okay. Like it doesn't mean like you're actually actively pursuing that, but that's at its core. That's what it means.
Like you think, let's keep it a stack. You think I got braids and jewelry and
Yeah, it's like look at yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and be like,
yeah, and like,
no,
and you think I did it for men?
no. Like
No.
you did it because like it attracts people and it makes that kind. It makes you feel good when you look good.
Yeah.
And it comes with benefits. Sometimes it comes with people who might treat you better, like the pretty
Money,
privilege that
yeah.
people talk about. Like women get pretty privilege and men get pretty privilege too. Like you get privilege from looking good. Like you get.
That
Like you
just
see, even when we go to places as a couple, we get benefits just for looking good. Like
to
people
getting into
want,
places
yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
Like, oh, who are y'all? Like,
Yeah,
when
like-
we were on different. We were just on flying. Where were we flying? Back from Singapore, and they're like, oh, who,
yeah,
who are
yeah,
y'all?
yeah.
like, yeah, like let's cut
And it
that.
helps. Like it helps to look good. Like it's not like you're trying to get another girl. It's not like I'm trying to get another man. But it helps to look good. Like and that's just what the point is. Like nobody.
Right, there's no negatives.
Like
to
let's
looking
stop
good.
acting like we don't care about those things at its core. Like so, even if it's subconsciously.
Right.
So.
'Cause
Yeah,
you see-
women literally kill themselves for men. Like
Yeah.
literally on the table, and people don't make it out of surgery for men. I don't think men are killing themselves for women. So who's really the prize?
And I'm not gonna jump off the roof and say that, even though I might feel that way. I don't know. I'm not gonna confirm or deny. But for me, yeah, like I don't think anybody should be considered a prize. Everybody
Yeah, I don't think anybody's a prize. I think it's like you said,
this is
partnership.
equal.
I
It's a
think
partnership.
both genders are the prize to each other in some way. Like
And they should
we
be.
both are a benefit, and we both get something of value from.
Right.
But to act like men aren't the prize at all, when women literally backstab their friends and do a lot of crazy stuff to each other.
shiesty stuff.
Yeah, like what? Like men do that stuff too, but for women to act like that's not a thing.
Why do strip clubs exist?
Yeah. Like women are literally profiting off of men money, the male gaze. So it's like it's just kind of confusing. Like that's my thing. I'm not saying men are solely the prize, and I'm not saying women are solely the prize. I'm just saying that I hate women who are so anti-men that they can't grasp a concept that the man also is the prize. Like it's like
Because then
really
why do you want
insane.
them then?
Yeah.
Like, why are you with? Just don't have a partner ever
Yeah.
anywhere. Even if it was a woman with another woman, if you don't feel like anybody else is a prize outside of yourself, then just don't be with anybody.
Yeah.
Just
It's
be. Just
weird.
live a lonely life then.
Yeah. You don't need
It just
nobody.
doesn't make sense. Yeah, you
Miss
don't
Miss
clearly you
Independent.
don't need. Yeah, Miss Independent. What Drake said. She got a link tree and she doing nefarious things on cam. No, not Mrs. Independent. But anyway, we're bringing this up because Twitter been going ballistics over the
Yeah,
whole Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles
that
thing.
thing was just ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, that's not my husband. So I don't care what he does. I don't care how he feels about his wife. I don't care how she feels about him because that's their relationship. That's not my man. So why are you so riled up about someone else's man? Like you're weird.
Yeah, people be too in
He would
deep.
never look at you a day in your life. Like, so why are you so upset?
Yeah.
And then they try to like, it's almost like then they try to like slander him and downplay him. Like he's still an NFL player. He's still a millionaire.
He's in like the top 400 people
Like
that are
what does
in
your
the
man
sport.
do? Like let's start like why are we like trying to dog somebody?
Why do
who's
people do that?
Like, oh, he's a bench warmer. I'm like, no, he's on special teams. Maybe if you actually watch football.
But why do people do that though? Because then if you bash the person that's a multimillionaire playing a sport, then who you pick, what do you feel about them?
Yeah, so what about the man that's not even making six figures?
That works at a convenience store that still beat.
They'll never get a millionaire. That's the thing.
Why?
The people
Yeah.
saying that stuff will never have a millionaire in their life, but they want to try to.
They probably won't even have
Like
a.
he's a bench warmer.
They probably won't even have 100,000 there.
Do people realize though, even if he was a bench warmer, that bench warmers still make like high six figures?
Yeah, like there's a NFL minimum. The minimum salary is what, like 400,000 or something.
Yeah. So that's even lit. You making all this money, you don't even gotta do nothing. Like you just gotta sit there, and you'll never see that money.
Why do people do that?
Cause they're weird. They want to use people. People can't wait for a couple that people like that they love to break down in some way because women who hate men so much that they need. It's almost like they get like wet by the fact that that we're about to hate on men today. Like, oh yes, let me set up my green screen TikTok and let me get my video ready so I can make a whole think piece when I could be spending this time doing something valuable. But no, I'm gonna set up my whole camera on TikTok and slander him for 30 minutes and make a whole think piece about another couple's marriage that I'm not a part of at all.
But my thing is, how do you not see the logic? Do you think? Never mind. I was about to say something crazy.
Say it.
Do you think women are intelligent?
I think some are. I think women are so emotional beings that sometimes their intelligence
I'm being facetious.
No, but I do feel like a lot of times our intelligence gets a little faded or
It removes
jaded
logic.
because men are so much more logical creatures and women are so much more emotional that some women's emotions overtake logic, and they say stupid things, they think stupid things, and they're just stupid. But for me, I have a lot more logic in things. I feel like I'm an emotionally intelligent person, so I don't view things so emotional. And a lot of women project their own experiences onto other women. So they got done dirty by a man. So they feel like they could give advice to other women about, oh, this is a red flag, dodge him, watch. You're going to come back on the internet. Look, we were right about Keke Palmer. At the end of the day, but who cares? Like, why do you care so much? That's what my biggest concern is. Why do you care? Why do you care? Why are you writing paragraphs on Twitter, threads and threads and threads about Jonathan Owens when that's not your man? Who cares? If Simone's fine with it, then why do you care?
Yeah.
That's why she literally posted a picture of them on their wedding day with like mood. Like they didn't. She don't care. She thinks you guys are weirdo.
And that's the funny thing is that both of them are just better at life than the people that are talking,
Exactly.
regardless of what your opinion is, whether it's positive or negative. Like our opinion, right? Regardless of what even our opinion is, they're better at life than both of
They
us.
still both
realistically,
won.
right?
Like
they
still
both won.
won.
Life. They got each other.
Yeah.
They're both in the top.
Successful people.
I mean, she's the most successful gymnast
Yeah.
right now. He's in the top
millionaires, multimillionaires.
He's like in the top 400 players, right? In his given sport, both multimillionaires, young, still in their 20s. They've done everything in life, right? better than the people that are talking, better than us talking, and we're saying nothing but positivity with them,
Yeah.
and they've still done better than us, and I'll be the first person to acknowledge that. So if everything's working for them and they're just describing their relationship, and I know it's like you're describing your relationship on a public platform, so
Yeah.
you are inviting public opinion, but the public opinion shouldn't come from a place of being a retard.
Yeah,
So
and it
like,
shouldn't be so much anger filled. Like, give your little opinion, fine, but why are you tweeting power
you can't even
raps?
get a text back from the
Yeah.
person that you're romantically interested in that works at Quick Check. So like, so what does that mean, right? Because I would never sit like I'm just not. No way that he just messed
Yeah, I
up.
know. Ooh, that's amazing.
Sorry, are we watching football? There's no way that I would have that level of just like stupidity to know my scenario and know my situation and then still make a comment and say something negative about somebody
Yeah,
that's doing
way
everything that I want
better.
to do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I just saw Lotto the other day. I think it was like an IG caption or something, or maybe it was Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the people hating would trade their life for hers,
Yeah.
no matter what. You could be a Nicki stan, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. You
You're
still rather
trading.
have
You
that
would,
life.
yo, bro. And it wouldn't even be a thought. You wouldn't question
Yeah.
how quickly you would
So
switch
all
lives
like
with her.
yeah. So
Because
all the
you're
women saying that about Jonathan Owens would,
you would
in a quickness, would trade their lives to be with him.
now all of a sudden an NFL player is trash.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
But before y'all was everybody wanted to be wags. They call them wags. I think it's like wife and girlfriends. You ever hear that terminology?
This is why I stopped the internet. Don't
No,
even explain it to me.
Google wags. It's
No,
a whole thing.
I'm not putting that in my cookies.
It's a whole thing about. It's called wives and girlfriends. It's a whole thing about like being a wife and a girlfriend of like a athlete. So it's a whole thing. I don't even think that even came from our community. I think that actually came from like the Palm people. Like I think that was their thing. You know, they usually are more so in that world. But yeah, that's like a whole thing. Everybody wants to be a wag and like, oh, come on, get ready with me for hubby's NFL game. So you would want a Jonathan Owens, and you would want Jonathan Owen himself. Like I'm sure plenty of women would trade places, and that's
100%.
that's the hypocrisy too. Because when they first got married, so many women.
How did he get her?
Yeah.
Or how did she get him?
How did she get him? Like you were dogging her. You were coming for her hair while she was being a gymnast. You were calling her whitewash. You were shocked that she bagged him. But now all of a sudden he feels like he's a prize, even though you low key felt that way because you asked how she even get him, and now you're mad because you just want to use that as an opportunity to bash men because you hate men because of your experiences that you have with them. And it's just insane. It's literally psychotic.
Confusion.
Yeah.
I'd be confusion.
Yeah.
But bottom line, y'all miserable.
Yeah.
Yes, they put it on a public platform,
Yeah.
but keep your thoughts and opinions to yourself.
And like,
And focus on your
even if you want to
relationship.
make your opinion, don't make your opinion full with like now you're throwing jabs. Now it's he's a bench warmer or he's this or that. Like if you want to say, okay, I don't agree with what he said, fine, leave it at that. But now you're trying to slander somebody when you're slandering is just stupid. Like now all of a sudden he's doesn't make as much as her. He's a bench warmer. Like now you're trying to drag somebody who's doing way better in life than you, and that's when I don't like it. Now you just sound delusional, weird, and dumb.
That's why I always get confused about people that comment on anything a lot of these entertainers do because we were just talking about this. Essentially, a screenshot of the girl in Cardi B's Twitter comments, basically trying to say that Cardi B has no money.
Yeah, people try to say that all the time. Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you haven't dropped the album, so
Yeah.
you're broken.
Yeah.
And then somebody literally replied, I'm like, bro, she made like 100 million. She's like, oh, you think she didn't spend it? It's like, oh, Jesus Lord.
And do people not understand the concepts of residual income?
I'm like, she could never. Doesn't have to do. Do people don't even? You know what's crazy? Is that you've never even had $10,000 to your name. You probably never have had $5,000 to your name at once. You probably
at
never even
once.
had $2,000 to your name at once.
Yeah.
Do you understand the concept of what $100 million
Yeah.
is? Do you know?
She has made a
do you know how many?
lot of money.
You've made $1 million 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
You've made $100,000. I can't even do the math because I'm bad on the quick math right there. You know how many times you made $100,000 to get to $1 million?
Yeah.
And people don't. And of course she spent it, right? We've driven past her house.
Yeah.
We've seen what she spent her money on.
Yeah.
And for somebody to sit there and say that and make a comment about somebody, like whether it's Lotto, like you're a fan of Nicki, so you bash Lotto, or vice versa, or
Yeah.
Nicki and you don't like Nicki, and
Yeah.
Cardi, like whatever the entertainer, like
When
y'all
people
nuts.
start, when people start talking money, that's when I get confused.
I'm like, who?
Like,
Who?
having your opinions, but don't talk money when you'll never touch that money.
You work at H&M.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like people are so delusional about their own real lives. Like even when they talk about people falling off or they're broke, you're broke.
Bro, you split an Uber 4 ways.
Yeah,
You share
you're
hotel
begging
rooms.
your friend, please send me my money.
You share hotel rooms when you go on vacation.
Yeah, you can't even go on a night trip without at least 4 people minimum. So let's be honest with ourselves here. Like, but so and so is broke. The person who has probably millions in their account. And then people take the net worth thing too serious. Like that. It's like that don't mean anything. Net worth is an estimation. Nobody truly knows what somebody has in their bank account. Net worth is an estimate on assets, deals. It's no real concrete like back. It can be back end money, under the table money. No one knows what's in somebody's bank account, and people think that's what net worth means. So